boy, Ben Humble. We're here in the house. Good to have my friends here. What's up, everybody? We got my boy Danny Blagrove in here too. What's up, Danny Blagrove? Couple quick shout outs. We got Gloria in the house. We got Jan. Nicole. Nicole's a staple. She's been in the house, right, Nicole? Erica, Bob, Zarema. We got you folks in here. Okay, cool. We're just letting a couple people hop on, and we've got a pretty cool conversation. So this whole idea of getting your first deal, I see a lot of people getting stuck, especially right now. Everybody's sitting at home. Maybe they're a little bit timid, what have you. So we're going to jump into this today, and we're going to break down the steps into what I call my micro hops. Before I do that, we got Cousin Vinny on the line. Cousin Vinny, I know, is there somewhere. Maybe he'll bring on his creepy voice. Say hello, Cousin Vinny.
Hello, everybody.
Cousin Vinny is running the stream behind. So if you guys are brand new to Cashflow Tribe or us, give a quick hello to Cousin Vinny. He's making all the magic, the technology happening. And yes, he is my first cousin. It's not just from the movie. Look at that. Blagrove saying, "What up, cuz?" in Vinny. All right. Daniel Blagrove, come give us a quick hello from behind the scenes. I know you're there somewhere. Come on, man. There we go. Daniel Blagrove in the house. All right, Cousin Vinny, let's get the slide deck up and let's get into today's conversation. All right, Real Estate 101. Listen, I did a quick poll before we got started. If you haven't filled out the poll, click which one are you. Let me know if you're in Premium, Cashflow Tribe Premium, or if you're in Basic. Let me know right now so I get a good sense of who's in the room so we can cater the conversation to help you guys. Blagrove saying, "Come on, man." All right, Blagrove, we hear you, brother. No need to repeat yourself, all right? Okay, let's get on with the program here. So getting started, by the way, today is week 2 of this series I'm putting together, the Micro Hop series. And week 1 was pretty powerful. So I'm going to share a little bit from week 1, but pretty much diving into week 2. There's a lot of stuff I want to cover. Do me a favor. I need you guys to participate in the comments. I'm watching every single one of your comments here. So share with me. Makes my life easy. Makes your life easy. We can kind of get right into it. Okay, guys? Premium all the way. Gloria, good gal. Okay, you guys know who I am. Who's brand new to me? Who's never heard of me? Just put never in the comments, okay? If you guys don't know who I am, I got started at 21 years old. Bought my first duplex, no money down. That was 14 years ago. Since then, I've done hundreds of purchases in Ontario and Canada. I've raised over $30 million now in private capital. And, you know, I started a mortgage company about 7-8 years ago now as well. So I've done a lot with Canadian real estate. And I was what's up, Alex? Alex says never. TK says never. Good to have you guys. So I've done a lot in the last 14 years. Currently, I'm traveling and running the businesses completely virtually because this is the 21st century. So those of you guys that are brand new, that's enough pandering. I'm also CEO of Cashflow Tribe with my partner, Matt McKeever. You guys might know Matt. He is Canada's largest real estate YouTube personality, and a lot of folks know him by his beard. Anyways, here's what's going on tonight. Those of you guys that may have gone through my training, 4 Killer Lead Secrets, everybody here tonight, I'm going to send you a free copy of it. Cool? Everybody will get a free copy of 4 Killer Lead Secrets. These are the 4 most comprehensive guerrilla marketing tactics that I've used to do a whole bunch of real estate deals, everything else. Joe, thank you, man. I am a monster. Appreciate you, buddy. Appreciate you, gentlemen. Here's my goal. Guys, we got 55 minutes together. I want to help you understand the realistic steps. Is that cool? Sometimes going from like 0 deals to 1 deal can be complicated. It's frightening. There's a lot of different things. So Cousin Vinny, I want you to do a poll. Who is still working on their very first deal? That's the poll I want to understand. Who's like in that process? Because this is what we're going to break down. Okay. So before I do that, keep you guys up to date with what's going on. Number 1, you guys know Alex Silga from Cashflow Tribe. All right. Well, Alex actually flew down here with me hanging out, and he had himself a massive, massive steak. And it was the first time he ever had one of these massive steaks, enjoying this tomahawk. That bone is bigger than my dog, but we took the bone home to the dog. So he's been pretty happy. So there's Alex chilling in Florida. Me and Snickers on the beach because everybody likes to see dog pictures. We're hanging out on the beach over here. We're in Sarasota. It's absolutely gorgeous. And he finally made it to the White Sands. And then Andrea's having a good old time over here. We have this French pastry place that we go to every day. So a little bit of update on what's going on with our lives as we keep rolling. All right, beauty. Okay, so we got the poll going. I see Gloria's first deal. Steve, not just yet, just joined premium. Steve, okay, awesome. Joe's working on his deal. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, most people are working on their first deal. That's exactly who I need on this call. In fact, if you're like a seasoned expert and you've already done 40 deals plus, some of this stuff may not be relevant to your journey today, but for those of you that are brand new, this conversation is exactly for you. So here's what I want. Number one, you guys need to turn off whatever distractions you got. I'm going to go through pretty quickly. And if you're a newbie, you can't afford literally to not pay attention. This stuff is important. I'm giving it to you. I'm going to give you high value, high level stuff. So just pay attention to it. At the very end, guys, we'll do some Q&A. So if you have some questions, just jot them down and hold them aside. Okay, here's the promised time. You ready? First of all, no bullshit. I'm not going to waste my time and frankly not your time on a bunch of nonsense and pandering and fake data that doesn't matter. We're just going to be straight to the point. That's my style. So those of you that know me, that's commonplace to you. Those of you that don't know me, it may come a little bit as a like abrupt shock that this guy is like bullshit and let's go and let's not waste time, but that's just my personality. So you may not like it, but you'll get the result. Is that cool? Here's what I need from you. Participate in the comments. If I give you the facts and give you the hard truth, you guys just need to participate. Let me know how you're feeling throughout the process because we will be discovering some hard truths. So let me do a quick recap. Last week, what I said to you was buying your first deal is more complicated than it seems. So a lot of people get stuck in the weeds of the decisions and the steps and all that stuff. And I get it. It's not as easy as just closing the deal. You have to go through a logical set of things. Now, I don't want you to get analysis paralysis, so I broke it down into a series of hops. So my whole thing, I've learned this along the way, it's called hop theory. When you got to go from here to here, that's scary. From zero to first deal is scary. It's hard. It can be complicated. So we're going to make a bunch of smaller hops, cool? And then we're going to find the next logical hop for you so you can just make one hop at a time. If I reduce the big hop into smaller ones, they become more bite-sized for you. And you have to realize, which I think you do, that growth is progressive. You're not going to go from 0 to hero overnight. You're going to progress from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 all the way to 10. Is that cool? So you guys, I want you to understand this is what it's going to take is to go through these little hops so that we don't get convoluted into maybe bullshit ideas that you're going to somehow make 50 grand tomorrow because you found real estate. Okay. There's work involved. There's hops involved. So I want you guys to get that, okay? Yeah, Gatton says it's like boxing, one round at a time. You're absolutely right, my friend, okay? Parm says getting some small wins. Guys, if you get small wins, you'll stay in the game. This is the truth. If you try to go too big too fast, most of you guys will get discouraged. Most of you guys, this is a new business, so you're living in massive fear. I'm just telling you the truth. Most of you guys don't possess the confidence yet to go out and make offers on your own. So we want to break this down to start building up the confidence so that you can understand the process and then it becomes less scary. Cool? All right. So last week, what I covered was understanding fundamental concepts. Really like these are the different hops. Number one is, do you understand fundamentals? Okay. Number two, have you identified your personal investing roadmap? Those of you guys that were here with us last week, we went through a pretty intense roadmap on the follow-up homework. By the way, tonight I'm giving you homework. And we were able to identify where everybody was at so that we can figure out the next logical hop, okay? Number three, which we're going to touch on today, is building the skills. Skills equal confidence. Admir, am I frozen? I'll give you guys a second to catch up. Am I frozen? Thumbs up if I'm good. Say yes if you're good. Let me know if I'm good, guys. Give me a quick thumbs up. I'll take a second. Okay, we're good. So I'm hearing from the admin that we're ready to roll. Nicole says good. All right, cool. So develop the basic skills, guys. All right. So that's going to take some practice. I'm going to show you what are the important skill sets that are required here. Thanks, guys. Negotiation and evaluation are two very important benchmarks. Okay. We're going to find and evaluate the deal. We're going to then get into offer making and paperwork. We're then going to get into negotiations and objections. We're then going to get into financing. We're then going to get into closing the deal. We're then going to get into managing the property or the deal once we've closed the transaction. And then we could talk about repeating or scaling the process. Is this making sense? Give me a yes, it's good, or something if it's making sense to you guys. Is it less intimidating? Tell me yes if it's less intimidating by breaking it down into these little hops. And if it is, then great, because then we're all on the right track. Okay, here's what I want you to do. If you got a pen and paper next to you or you're jotting down notes, what I want you guys to do, Rudy and Kale and everybody here, I want you to figure out, where are you right now? Are you on 1, 2, or are you on developing basic skills, finding evaluations? If you're comfortable putting it in the comments, do that. That'd be helpful, okay? In fact, I think what Vinny can do is do a chat and figure out where everybody is, okay? Everybody like the micro steps. Vinny, let's do a chat 1 through, well, I think it's supposed to be 1 through 10. I'll let Vinny throw it in. I'm just curious where everybody's at so we can build on this thing. All right. Well, today we're going to be talking about developing the basic skills to get the confidence to practice. Okay, guys? And if you missed sections 1 and 2, I'm going to appoint you the homework so you guys can get on the 1 and 2. Is that cool? But for today's purpose, I'm going to start on section 2.5 or 3 as we kind of move forward. So, cycle of emotions. What I want you guys to understand, all right, is that real estate moves up and down. The only reason something ever sells is because of motivation, right? There's a supply, there's a demand. So we need to understand that if the market's getting heated and getting expensive, it's because there is an increasing demand, a shortening of supply, which means that the price goes up, okay? So we have to realize that the basic skills are always going to revolve around opportunity. They're always going to revolve around motivation. So we have to understand, number one, what is our seller, our realtor, our buyer, what are their motivations? And then we have to understand how we can position ourselves to have dialogue around those motivations. So let's talk about some of this stuff, and I'll give you guys a parallel. So negotiation skill applications. So number one, talking to sellers, if you're in business, is the equivalent of talking to your supplier. You're trying to get a deal. You're trying to find something undervalued. You're trying to find an opportunity to buy it at price A and sell it at price B, right? This is what talking to sellers is like, understanding the supplier mindset. You may have never heard it this way before, but I'm coining these because I think it's easy to understand. Talking to lenders and JV partners is like talking to financiers. Talking to the bank, talking to individuals that would finance a business. Talking with tenants and buyers is like talking to your customers. What do your customers truly want? They want service. They want a product that they like. They want an easy experience. So there's different things. And then talking with realtors is the equivalent of talking to brokers or business folks. So if you understand the underlying motivation in every one of these conversation types, then you can start to understand how to build out these conversations and negotiate, okay? Now, it's going to require a little bit different skill set depending on which category of people you're talking to. So here's a question I have for you. Do you talk with your realtor the same way you talk with a motivated seller? Just put yes or no in the comments. Yes or no in the comments. Do you talk with your realtor the same way as you talk with your motivated seller? Who says yes? Who says no? Let me know in the comments there. Okay, so the reason I'm bringing this up, no, 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 no. Good. All right, so you guys are all correct that are saying no. It's a different conversation because it's a different level of motivation. So we have to understand that the way we talk to people, it has to be preconditioned to what their expectations are. So we're going to go into an example, guys. I know everybody wants a script. Who wants to practice talking with the seller's script? I'm going to walk you through one of these conversation types, and I'm going to preface it by understanding who we're talking to. So we're talking with the seller in this circumstance. The seller is the person who's supplying us with the inventory, the deal, right? So that we can go ahead and make money with it. It's just like any other business. So this is how I would fundamentally script out the seller conversation. Okay, Rudy? Okay, Joe? Glenn? All right, guys, I want you to take notes. If you need to take a screenshot of this, that's cool. I'll also have some cool homework stuff for you guys later to do. So let's jump right into this. Number one, every time you get on the phone, you have to set the expectation. Guys, you have to set the expectation of what you expect to do on that phone call. When you set the expectation, you create credibility. If you don't have any expectations on the phone call, then you're not a credible buyer. If you don't have a realistic set of options and guidelines for where we're headed to with the conversation, then it just sounds like you're pandering the customer and probably wasting their time. So something like this. Hey, John, this is how these calls usually go. We'll talk for about 20 minutes. And at the end of that call, I'm going to do one of two things. I'm either going to make you an offer, or I'm going to go ahead and refer you to somebody that may better serve you. Is that okay? Guys, if you start your conversation this way with the seller, you're already going to do a very couple things. Number one, your conversations will stay tight and to the point because that's where they need to be. So many times if you're talking with the seller, the problem we have is that we just go on for an hour building rapport or whatever. Then I just lost the slides. Okay, we're back. And we don't get to the point. Anybody ever been stuck talking with a seller? Like you just don't know how to get it going? Maybe you guys have. Number two, I build rapport. Building rapport is about getting truth, friends. Building rapport isn't some fake feelings kind of thing. It's about getting the truth from the seller about the story because they trust your intentions. See, if you come with the right intentionality with the seller, then you'll actually be able to have a real dialogue. Okay? So, hey, Mr. Seller John, in order to help you, I'm going to need the full story. Okay? So can we just agree to be as honest as possible with each other? And my intention is to either make you an offer or to go ahead and try to find you somebody else that can serve you better based on what you need. See, right away, if I build a level of trust with the seller because I'm honest, guys, my secret sauce weapon in talking to sellers and most people is I'm brutally honest, right to the point. I'm so honest, it's okay if I don't get a deal. I'm so honest that I would rather help the seller and create a win-win deal or do nothing and not make any money. I'm not talking to sellers to make money. I'm talking to create a solution to a problem they have. And if I create a solution, friends, then I'll get paid. If you don't create a solution, you're actually not going to get paid, or you're going to feel that you've violated some kind of ethical thing or you took advantage of people. Solutions equal money. Selling doesn't, right? So solutions equal profit. And that's the way I want you guys to think about it. Number three, we have to get the facts. So motive. Motive's important. Hey, John, what's the reason that you're selling? Like, how come now and not last week or next month? See, if you build the actual tangible truth and they actually will trust you, they'll give you the answers you're looking for. Anybody ever struggled in the past to get an answer from a seller or a realtor or somebody else? They don't want to tell you, and you guys are playing back and forth games with words, and everybody's trying to one up each other, trying to get to the bottom truth or whatever. That's a bullshit way of conversation. All that means is that you don't have any actual rapport. All right. In the conversations I have with sellers or realtors or anybody else, I'm getting to the bottom of the story, right? Because I've built that level of credibility up front. So I want to know, hey, how come you're selling this thing today? The second thing I want to know is, what's the story here? What's the story with the neighborhood? What's the story with the property? I need to know a little bit of background, folks, because in background exist opportunities. If I know that, the neighbor next door is quite annoying and that's why you're leaving, well, then that neighbor next door might be annoying to the other neighbors. So I might be able to buy a couple properties on that block instead of just the one. Okay. Bob, you're getting just one-worded answers. It's because we're not building enough rapport, but I love it. We're on the right scale. Number three, guys, here's what I do. Condition of property. It's very easy to get caught up in the 1,000 details of a home. So I'm going to actually do the complete opposite. I'm going to compress that entire conversation by creating very simple metrics. Hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being perfect, 1 being a teardown, where is your house? If somebody says it's a 9, just assume it's a 7. And the reason for that is because we all just live in our own shit. We live in our house. We don't notice all the little things, or if we do, we ignore them. So everybody will in one way kind of predict their home as better than what it is. Okay, Steve, I froze, but I think I'm back right now. Frozen, says Rudy. Let me know when I'm good. My signal strength is solid. Solid. Frozen or not? Okay, we're good. Sorry, guys, a refresh your window up and you're good. Thanks, Jared. Okay, so that's number three. The next thing is terms. I love this question. This is what I want you guys to use. Hey, John, other than price, is there anything else that you're hoping to sell or you're hoping to achieve with the sale? Maybe John wants a quick closing. Maybe John wants a long closing. I have a seller that wants to stay in the property for a year, but still buying it now because they need money. Maybe John wants you to take the property as is. You have to understand the terms. Real estate is about price or terms. So if you get a good price, it's probably because you gave some terms. This is the way this works, okay? The next piece is this, if I. Okay, so other than price, so if I, repeat back, right? If I were to give you the terms, if I were to take the property and as is condition, you know, if I could close in 30 days, would you sell it to me? And what is the lowest price you can afford to accept? Easy, guys. I'm getting right to the heart of the matter. Sometimes people go back and forth on price and they lowball and low anchor. And if the seller plays games with you, you actually haven't built enough rapport, or they're the kind of seller that likes to play games. Guys, a lot of like European sellers, they need to go back and forth. In fact, haggling is part of our culture. If you don't haggle, you're not getting a good deal. So I have a script for haggling, and it goes something like this. Hey, we have two options here, John. We can either go back and forth on price a few times just to make you feel like we're getting a good negotiation going, or I can just give you my number and you can let me know if it works for you, but you got to tell me where you need to be. Either way, we're going to end up at the same conclusion. So do you need to go back and forth and I go low and you go high? Or do you want to just tell me what you actually need for the property and I'll just give you a confident answer if I can buy it? See, I'm removing all of the child games, guys. I'm removing all of the back and forth. I'm coming with confidence at the conversation. This is making sense? Number 5, solution. This is where the solution comes in, right? The only time I'm ever going to see a property, lock it down, or do anything else is when I have a theoretical agreement, right? Like, so if I say to him, okay, what's the price? He says, I want 200. All right. Well, listen, I'd be happy to come and lock this thing up or see you or do whatever I need to do further, do my due diligence. But I'm probably in the neighborhood of X, Y, Z. So I'm probably in the neighborhood of that 150 to 170-ish. If that sounds reasonable, then we can keep going forward. A lot of people throw one price and they just go like stick or not stick. Guys, real estate negotiation isn't about one price. It's about closing the gap. You have to understand where they're starting from, and you got to understand where you need to be. And then can you close that gap in a meaningful way where it makes a win-win scenario for both parties? If you can't close the gap, then you don't have the skill of negotiations, okay? The alternative solution is, I understand, but maybe there's another option. So in my business, we not only do cash offers, we also do term offers where we can actually buy the property, lock the deal up, and then offer some additional terms that the seller can give us for a little bit higher price. So there's a different strategy for that altogether. But you see how the script is pretty straightforward? Cody and Steve and Erica and Rudy. Do you see how it doesn't need to be that complicated? Because it's really just a series of small, micro questions that lead to a result. Are you guys starting to see that this isn't that difficult? And you could take this script and you can add your own phrases to it, but you can literally use this one at a time. This will require practice. This will require you to use this over and over again. But if you do it the right way, then it will really help you guys get some traction on it, okay? So let me give you some negotiation rules, guys, okay? Okay? Thanks, Alex. I love it too, man. Here's my rules. Are you ready? Number 1, always stay in agreement. Easy. Meaning you have to remain agreeable. Steve, if somebody says to you, I want $200,000, you need to go, I understand. I get it. You're not agreeing to give them the price, but you have to remain agreeable. If you go, oh, that's stupid, I'll never pay you that. You just broke rapport. The moment you disagree, you break rapport. So you have to be able to disagree, but still agree. Remain agreeable, but have a difference of opinion. So the best way that I can do this is the couple words. I understand, right? I understand. Hey, I want 200 grand. I understand. See, sometimes when it's raining outside, you go, oh shit, it's raining outside. But then you still go to work. So people, listen to me here. People will complain and do it anyways. People will give you a price and take a lower one anyways. You know, I want 200,000. I understand. Are you able to go any lower than that? And they'll go lower than that, right? I understand. Don't immediately assume that it's a no. A lot of us just assume it's a no, and then we go, oh, you know what? Guys, I literally ignore the first answer. I understand. Are you able to go any lower? Literally ignore the first answer and go to the second one, okay? The other way you do this is most of you guys, if I could see your camera, who's agreeing with me? Who's like, yeah, this is good? You guys are all bobbing your heads. That's called micro commitments. Okay? Micro commitments, meaning if you get them to bob their head like this most of the time, then you're staying in agreement. This is how you know. If they never shake their head yes, then you're not in agreement. This is the most visual cue that you have that you're actually in the right zone. If you get no bobbing of the heads, you're probably not getting a deal. You guys are shaking your head right now like, holy shit, this is awesome. I love this. This is freaking good, man. This is the gold, right? You guys are all doing this. You know, that what that tells me is we're all in agreement. The concept is good. The information is valuable, okay? Number 3, positive energy. This is my rule. You have to bring a positive tonality. If the guy's like, oh man, the world is going to a hell in a handbasket and I'm stuck at home with social distancing. If you're like, oh yeah, this world is shit. Oh yeah, nothing's going to help you. Don't do that. Bring a reasonable positive energy. I understand. I get it. I understand. There's a great book on this, by the way. It's a hostage negotiation book called Never Split the Difference. Read that book. That's actually going to be on the homework. I'll put it in the comments for you guys. Never Split the Difference. Okay, it's by, I think it's by either Bob Voss. I think it's Bob Voss. Okay, Never Split the Difference. It's a fantastic book about like how to stay in agreement and how to have that thing. Positive energy, okay? Number 4, you got to set the expectations, guys. If you don't, Chris Voss, thanks, Michael. If you never, Bob Voss, listen to me, I'm making up names. Andrea Voss. Okay, that sounds like a good name. I'd like that name. Set the expectations. You got to be able to set the expectations from day one. If you don't do that, guys, then you're going to end up with a bunch of random conversations that lead nowhere. We have to be able to be clear on what we expect the outcome to be. Okay, so if you're going to make an offer and you expect to make an offer, then tell them. Okay, then tell them how to. Bob Ross is the painter. Is that the guy who like painted in the 80s? Oh, you're killing me. Jared, you're killing me. So set that expectation. Listen, my goal is simple, to make you an offer. If everything is above board and we can have an honest conversation, my expectation is that I'll make you an offer or refer you to somebody else. Cool? All right. Number 5, this one may seem counterintuitive to you guys, but do not be too specific. Your job is not to get a number, it's to close a gap. Guys, this will make the world of difference. If you walk into somebody's house and go, it's only worth $400, you're dead. Okay. Because what if for them, in their mind, it's worth $500? Or what if it's worth $420? You just killed the game. You need to give approximations and keep closing the gap until you end up into a point that's a win-win for everybody, but you're not overly committal. So remain non-committal in negotiations. I always let the other party go first. It's like that old adage when you go in to kiss a girl, you know, you're supposed to go 80% of the way and they got to come in for the close. Okay? If you just go and kiss people everywhere you go, you'll be labeled the pervert and it's just not going to end up too well. All right? So my point is, just close the gap. Don't just go for the kill. All right? Number 6, this is a personal rule of mine, one of my favorite. Do not ever lie or exaggerate. So many people do this, and I don't understand why. I believe they feel like it gives them an edge. They feel like it gives them some kind of like advantage to just lie about shit. Do not lie about where you're coming from. Don't say, me and my company need to evaluate this transaction to determine the viability of its. Don't pull that bullshit. You don't have a company. It's just you. It's you and your pickup truck and your baseball hat. Just be you. Don't go in there with your like nice fancy shoes. If you wear Converse all day, just go with your Converse. Okay? Don't exaggerate your social standing. Don't exaggerate your financial position. In fact, just don't exaggerate ever. Okay? Because the problem with that is you will be discovered. People aren't as dumb or as naive as you think they are. They can see through bullshitters a mile away. The reason that I win, I just don't bullshit people. Hi, I like your property. I'm expecting to make you an offer, but we got to have a very specific conversation full of honesty so I can see if it's a good fit for me and it's a good fit for you. It's so easy if you're just real. All right? Jan says, yeah, being real is appreciated. Jan, that's one of my biggest compliments. This dude is just real. Guys, I'm just a real guy out here trying to make it work. I'm just a regular guy out here trying to be straightforward, trying to make it work, I'm not here trying to pretend. Anybody telling you got to polish yourself up, you got to put on your special whatever, You got to go and speak a different way. It's just lies, friends. It's just lies. You're not selling insurance. You're dealing with people's difficult financial situations. It requires a level of integrity and transparency that most people aren't willing to go through. Okay? So language, I understand. Language, thank you. When somebody gives you anything in life, my mom taught me to say thank you. If somebody says my house is worth $200,000, you know what you should say? Thank you. I understand. You see, they're giving you something. They gave you the price that they wanted. How many of us disregard the gift that we just received, which is knowing the price, and we just keep going as if it never mattered? If somebody actually said, this is what's going on with my house, you know what the best thing ever is? Thank you. Thank you for sharing that with me. Thank you. People feel valued when you say thank you. These are small things that make a big difference at the end of the day. And then the other language piece is this. If I could, would you? If I could do this, would you? So many people get stuck on the idea of buying a house is like, Ben, I have no money. How can I possibly make offers? Who's in that boat? I'll give you guys some guidance on that, okay? Number one, don't pretend like you have money if you don't. Number two, most people don't have money when they go and make an offer. That's why it's called an offer. So what I would say is like, understand you are in a negotiation. If I could give you this price, would you sell it to me? And would you give me 3-4 days to come up with the money? See, all you have to do is put conditions and stop pretending like you have cash. A lot of people are like in this mindset, like if I don't have cash, they won't take me seriously. Who in the world is walking around with 200 grand cash? You went to the car dealership and bought a car. Most of you guys ended up getting payments for it. You didn't walk in with cash to buy that brand new car. In fact, most Canadians have more debt than they do discretionary income, $1.81 of debt to every dollar of income. So nobody has cash. You can go and get financing. You can go and get cash. You can go and obtain a JV partner. So money comes after a deal. If you have no deal, you won't raise money. A lot of people are trying to raise money and then go do a deal, and we're just doing it ass backwards. I'm just saying, if you have an actual deal, you can buy yourself a couple days by being honest and transparent, right? Otherwise, anybody who approaches this business like, I'm just throwing offers all day and they're all cash offers, you're gambling. You're not really investing. You're not really a business owner. You want to gamble. You want to throw money at something. Hopefully it sticks with no recourse, no risk, right? And no appreciation for the matter that's at hand. And we're just trying to throw stuff at it. If you're throwing money at stuff that you don't have with the expectation that you're going to make a small fortune by doing very little work, you're gambling and you don't belong in Cash Flow Tribe. I'm very confident saying that you can just get out because it's not the environment we condone. We want you to be successful, prudent, smart, intelligent investors. So I can't condone like, let me just throw a bunch of bullshit offers and see what sticks. I agree with offer making. I agree with being intelligent about where you make offers. I agree with making them consistently. I agree with like following a process, but I don't agree with I have no money, so I'll just lie about my financial standings. You guys follow me? There's not a bone to pick. I'm just saying that's the case. All right, there you go. Hey, great questions, by the way, guys. I'll tie up these questions in a second. So negotiations. Number one, I'll give you guys some other examples. By the way, was that pretty good for sellers? Pretty damn good, right? Okay, cool. Realtor value. Realtor wants to make money, guys. Realtors just like you. They have a job. They're a salesperson, okay? Okay, they need to make money. If you're talking with a realtor, you better show them the money. Hey, I'd love to work with you and help you do some deals. We approach realtors like they work for us. Realtors work for themselves. Do we understand this? A realtor works for himself, not for you. He tells you he works for you, but he works for himself. He's a self-employed person. He only gets paid if he performs. So a realtor will go to the place where he's most likely to perform. The lender. The lender speaks in the word of calculations. They speak in data, not your drama. If you approach a lender ever without data, shame on you. Lender doesn't care how you feel about a property. Lender doesn't care where you think the market is headed. Lender doesn't care that you watch CNBC and have an investment thesis. They care about data points. Hi, I'm buying it for 100. The comparable sales are 120. The risk is that it goes down by 20% based on this data to X. And there's a way that you can speak with the lender to help mitigate their risk and their exposure. A lender doesn't want to do the homework for you. A lender wants you to do the homework for them and then propose the idea. Okay? And then tenants, I speak in terms of empathy with tenants. I understand where you guys are coming from. I totally get it. I know you need the dishwasher fixed. I really appreciate it. Now, but in order for me to do that, we need to make sure the rent is collected and yada, yada, yada. So you have to change the way that you speak in relation to who you're talking to. Okay? It's a language, folks. So in order to communicate efficiently, we have to speak the language to gain influence. That's the key word. If you're not gaining influence in conversation, it's because you don't speak the language. And I think a lot of people are speaking a realtor language to the tenants. Somebody says, I'm just going to buy that property and kick those tenants right out. Well, I don't think you appreciate the language of tenants. I think some investor gave you that language. Some investor preached to you about your rights. Some investor preached to you about the things that you could do, but it's just not realistic based on the current climate and tenant landlord laws. If the LTB is shut down, like, what are you going to do? You're going to go down there and force people out of their homes with no proper procedure and no proper governing body to facilitate evictions through? Probably not. So the idea of like, I'm just going to kick people out is a false one, right? Even though you may have rights, etc., you can't enforce those rights. So this is what I want you guys to do as we kind of get into Q&A, all right? Because I'm not going to go too far. I'm just going to cover a couple of these topics. So number one, practice. Who's going to do the homework? Let me see the hand real quick. Who's going to do the homework? Okay. Number one, I want you to practice the conversation, and I want you to negotiate with a lender, a buyer, a realtor, and a seller. Do it on a fake deal. Do it on a practice basis. And I want you to start getting in the conversation because you're going to require practice. Okay. Number two, you need to practice handling objections. What happens when they say no? What happens when they say get lost? What happens when they say show me the risk and reward? Okay. Number three, we need to practice empathy and awareness. If we're talking with sellers, we have to get the dialogue around awareness and empathy way up. Okay. And then number four, we have to practice the close. Guys, how many of you get stuck going to the close and you're like, oh, now what? Shit, I got this far. Now I don't know how to get this thing done. Yeah, most people do. So part of what you can do, I really focus on strengths, okay? So something that we do for everybody in my network, my office, my teams, we do this thing called the Predictive Index. I believe in everybody focus on their core strengths. One of the most important things I learned about myself in the last 3 years is I'm very good at some things and I'm shitty at other things. I don't focus on the things I suck at, okay? I don't focus on things I'm not good at. I don't believe in focusing on your weaknesses. I believe you should develop your core strengths. So a predictive index is something that everybody can do. There's usually a cost to do this. You got to get a membership, but it'll help you identify who you are. For example, I'm a high dominance personality. You guys can probably tell. I'm a high extroversion, meaning I love people. I love hanging out with people, seeing people, talking to people. I'd rather work with people than alone. Number three is I'm low patience. I have zero patience for anything because I want to move quick. And number four, I'm high detail oriented. So I want things to be done a certain way. I want them to be done right. I want them to be done the way that I want them to be done. So if you're like me, you have one certain set of skills that you can adapt with and you can actually start winning in this. For example, who in here is very, very, very analytical and you hate sales? You hate closing. The idea of talking with the seller like scares the hell out of you, but you love analyzing. You love operational stuff. You love spreadsheets. If you're one of these people, then you have to use your aptitude, your knowledge, your resourcefulness and skill set in a different way to move your business forward, okay? There's different types of you guys. So skill identity, this is important here. Start by identifying your strengths, and you can do that with a PI test. I do a PI test with everybody, guys. So if you haven't done one, like get one set up. This is a massive head start, okay? What are your natural strengths? And because this is business, we have to start looking at sales, analysis, ops, collaboration. What's the thing that you're good at? So who's my salespeople? Bob says, I like to talk to people. Cool. Where's like, I love sales. I love talking to people. I love hanging out with people. I love like winning in a conversation. I love negotiations. I love all that stuff. Okay. Because then you're a different category of person that has a different skill set that you could capitalize on. All right. So find your strengths work on it. Okay, build this. And then what I do is I don't focus on my weakness. I find somebody else with a complementary strength. And then that way I can work together. Now, a lot of people, this is where they're going to struggle. You're going to struggle with limiting beliefs. So some people have limiting beliefs about the vehicle. Real estate doesn't work. Wholesaling doesn't work. Whatever doesn't work, probably because you've heard it from somebody else, not because it doesn't actually work. Other people, most people, when it comes to doing deals, will have this, guys. I want you to self-identify here. A scarcity mindset, external limiting beliefs. Basically, most people think there's not enough deals, not enough of something, not enough money, not enough opportunity, not enough, whatever it is that you think there's not enough of is what actually keeps people back from finding and becoming resourceful. And the third one is the internal limiting beliefs, which basically says, my self-confidence is so low, I just don't think I can for a million reasons. People told you were no good enough. You think you're not good enough. You think you're going to fail. You think you're going to mess it up. And then we just don't do it because of that. When it comes to finding deals, folks, most people have this one, the external. We live in scarcity. Like in a hot market, be honest with me. This is where you got to get real. How many of you have thought to yourself in the last little while, shit, there's just not enough deals for me. There's just not enough deals for everybody. And this survival of the fittest, and I'm going to be screwed because I just can't get deals. Who's had that thought or something similar? Okay, one person. I'm sure a lot of people here have had that thought, okay? So people just go, there's no deals, there's no scarce. And when that happens to us, guys, we need to start looking at asking tougher questions about scarcity, okay? So here's the thing about scarcity. This will help you guys because it helps me. Data. How many people who live in scarcity about deals, about opportunity, and about, let's say, whatever it is, actually have data to substantiate the fear? Or is it the feelings are driving the fear? Is fear driving you, or is the data driving the fear? Most of us don't have data, right? So there is plenty of deals if you simply look at the data, all right? So, for example, Matt McKeever's team, guys, they do 15-1, 15 offers for every deal under contract. If I told you that you had to make 15 offers, how many of you would actually go out and do 15 offers before getting a deal? Or do most of us do 3, 4, 5, we get frustrated, we get discouraged, and then we probably stop? So this is symptomatic of the way investing works. And this is just business in general. We usually stop before the point of actual growth. We try a little bit, we give a little bit a go. It's confusing, it's scary, it's what have you. We develop a little bit of scarcity, which leads to more scarcity. And then we pull back and we should be pushing forward. This happens. It's not new. You don't have to feel guilty about it, but it happens to a lot of people. So what we do, guys, is I want you to start using KPIs to track the performance. So I made an offer. This was the result. I did a campaign. This was the result. I decided to buy this property and do this BRRRR. This was the result. We need consistent data to make better decisions, okay? So let's talk about this as we keep going forward. What makes a good deal? This will be huge for some of you guys, okay? Thank you, Gatson. Appreciate it. Number one, cash versus cash flow. What is your primary goal? I'm going to ask you guys this, and Vinny, you can put it in the comments. Is it lifestyle or is it wealth accumulation? Primary goal. Don't say both. You can't have two primaries. You might like the idea of both, and if one works, you'll get the other. But what's your primary driver? Is it I want a good lifestyle today, so I need to make $10,000, $20,000? Or is it I want to accumulate my wealth for a future predetermined date, maybe 5 years retirement, what have you, okay? This is my investment perspective, guys. You either have a long-term view on investing, like if that's what you're going to do, or you have no view, meaning your opinion about short-term investing is an utter waste of time. I'll explain myself in a moment, okay? But your opinion of what happens in the next month, 2 or 3, is a complete waste of your time and probably holding you back from doing deals, okay? Because most people are trying to day trade real estate. They're trying to pick tops and bottoms. They're trying to predict and then execute versus understand and execute. So let me give you the example. Here's the difference, guys. You ready? Investing for cash flow. Cash flow is what I'm going to call the wealth accumulation phase. So those of you guys that are cash flow, this is the only way. Number one, regardless of today's price action means that where the price is in relation to the movement of the equity. In our case, the real estate, okay? We need to evaluate every deal, guys, based on a minimum 5-year investment fundamental thesis. Meaning that if you're so focused with what's happening this month, the next month after that, you're not actually investing for cash flow, you're speculating. Investing for cash flow has a 5-year thesis. So here's an example of a good deal. And Vinny, maybe you can move my little face. I think I'm in the way there. Just move me around the little screen. Watch this. Vinny's going to pop me around the screen here real quick to get me out of that right-hand corner. Boom. I didn't say make me smaller, dude. I don't want that problem. There we go. You're killing me. All right. So we're going to buy a duplex. We're going to evaluate this duplex, friends. So where will this duplex be at 5 years from now? So go forward thinking and do the evaluation on a forward thinking basis. So we go 5 years from now with cash flow. Let's say it makes $200 a month times 12 months is $2,400 a year times 5 years will generate $12,000. Okay, you guys with me? And by the way, this is barring any expenses, repairs, etc. This is cash flow, net cash flow. 5 years of debt repayment. Okay, if I take the same kind of analysis here real quick and cut that in half, about $100 a month, about $6,000 that will have gained in equity through debt repayment. And that's the tenant paying off that debt. And if we take a nominal appreciation value, and I'm going to make this real easy. Don't look at what happened last year or the year before. Just take a 20-year average of appreciation in your city, and you can just Google that number. And for me, it would be 3% a year. And then essentially, we got a $30,000 nominal appreciation over the course of 5 years. Now, this is on a $200,000 asset. So my total actual realizable gain in terms of equity cash flow would be $48,000. If I bought this thing for 200 grand and put 20% down, I put $40,000 down. Okay, I'm going to make $48,000 in 5 years in relation to $40,000 investment to the property. Then I'm going to have an 120% return on capital. Everybody with me so far? This is the only metric that makes sense. The only question I have for you, Andrea, Gloria, Sean, Kale, Steven, Tari, everybody else is this. Are you happy with 120% return on capital based on your other options? If this is the only option you have and you're happy with 120% return, then you need to do the deal. If you have other options that you can make a greater return, then you don't need to do this deal. Is everybody following my logic here real quick? Now, who says, holy crap, I don't want to think 5 years out? The reality is this, though. My local market went up 100%. 100% in just 2 years. If I had a 5-year investment thesis, guys, my return would have been so much higher. But if you have a 6-month, 3-month, 1 year, if you have a shorter window, you're going to miss the big pushes. You're going to miss the big gains. In fact, if you're trying to time it, you're going to be too late. If you're trying to get in because everybody else is in, you're too late. Return on capital, yes. So you put 40 grand in, Alex, and you got $48,000 out over the course of 5 years. That's 120% return on the $40,000, okay? So that's cash flow. Everybody follow me? Now, does it matter if it's a duplex, multifamily, 10-unit, 15-unit, or a single-family house, guys? Does it matter what it is if you're evaluating based on a 5-year? On a very conservative level. You guys follow me? It doesn't matter. Now, here's the next one. This is going to blow your mind. You ready? Pay attention now. I won't say this again. If you're investing for cash today, your opinion of the market is a complete waste of time. Nobody cares, and I don't care, and you shouldn't care. Do not create an opinion of value, okay? In fact, the market, if you're looking for cash, is driven by 2 factors, supply and demand. You're a middleman. There's a reason I have pictures of boxes. Your job is easy. You buy it for less, you sell it for more. You buy it for less, you sell it for more. That's it. It doesn't matter what you feel. It doesn't matter what your analysis is. The whole job is to buy it for less. So how do you do this? Number one, you don't dictate the price. The market does. Stop trying to become the market. Just have the market dictate. So here's what I want you to do. Understand what the demand price is. If right now retail buyers are willing to pay 99 cents on the dollar, which I would say they are because things in my town are going for way over asking. Any retail property or retail buyer is willing to pay 99 cents. A landlord is probably willing to pay 90 cents. A flipper is probably willing to pay 80%. You guys follow me? 80 cents on the dollar. How do you know? You do a little bit of market research and you call a flipper, you call a landlord, right? And you call an agent to understand what the retail market is at. Your job is simple, to buy it for less. That's it. Don't get caught up in short-term market thesis or fundamentals or blah, blah, blah. When the market is hot, the price does not move through logic. It moves through emotion. What you're trying to understand is how motivated are the buyers? Yo, if these guys are willing to pay 100 cents on the dollar, my job is to get it for less. If I'm going to flip it to flippers and I'm buying shitty properties, well, they're willing to pay 80 cents on the dollar. And if you don't know what they're willing to pay, find the biggest flipper in your town, call them and say, hey, if I had a deal, what kind of discount are you buying at? What's a good deal for you? Cool? You feel me? All right. So investing for cash is less about investing and more about running an active business. You guys follow me? So marketing, sales, ops, and finance. That's it. That's what this whole thing is about. So let's not overcomplicate it. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Investing for cash uses KPI metrics to track performance. So things like ROMDS, return on marketing dollars spent, or ROBC, return on borrowed capital or credit. Okay. So investing for cash is running a business. Guys, if you're doing wholesaling or flipping, that's an active business. That's not investing. Investing is literally taking capital and putting it into something, keeping it there for a while, and then benefiting from the 3 or 4 different ways that we make money as an investor, including appreciation, including cash flow, including debt repay down. So evaluating deals, the shortcuts. Number 1, ABC condition. This is what I like to do. Give it a ranking. Is it an A quality property, a B, a C, or a D? D is disaster, A is awesome. Easy, right? Number 2, rule of 5,000. For me, a lot of the different rehab stuff is about a $5,000 increment. So to do a roof in my town is $5,000. To do a decent, okay, small bathroom is $5,000. 5 or 10 grand. A kitchen is 10. So I go 5s and 10s, 5s and 10s. This will help you remove a lot of the conversation around rehab work. Okay, so let's do this real quick. Vin, let me grab this chart. Everybody follow me so far? Vincent says everything is overwhelming in his town. I get you, bud. I get you. Okay, so let me grab my chart here. Here's what I do. I'm going to go over here. By the way, right on the Cash Flow Tribe website, we've got our calculators. Everybody's using the calculators, I assume. If you're not using them, I really, really recommend you guys get over here. So I'm just going to go down here, guys. You see the different calculator options we have. We have flipping profit calculator. I'm just going to click that on the Cash Flow Side Premium account. Now I'm going to put a project name. I'm going to call this one, Ben Project. I'm going to pick an address, and I'm just going to pop it in here. This is why I love this tool. So let's go with, let's go with 1445. Let me see here. So yeah, let's go with one of these. Cool. As soon as I plug this thing into here, into the property address, it actually populates the postal code, everything else, which is really, really cool. It's already got the data for me. And I think this just added an extra piece here. Oh, okay. So you can even do this here. So you'll actually give you the map of the property. So 1145. Let me try this. Okay. Make sure I got the right one here. Boom. Okay. Fantastic. So saved. Now what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to go over to the next category here. I think I'm getting stuck over here. What are you not liking? All right. There we go. There's a picture of the property. I'm going to go to next. Okay. As soon as I go to next, guys, I want to know this. In terms of the purchase price, this is what we're trying to determine where we need to be with this stuff. So if we buy this thing hypothetically for $100,000, okay, and the after repair value of this property, if we're doing this math, is going to be $150,000. We just plug in zeros, no decimals, no nothing. I'm going to use $1,000 usually for legals. Okay. Land transfer tax is actually a calculator for this. I'll put $1,000 for now. We're not going to be paying any bird dogs. The realtor, I can just go I can literally start plugging in $5,000 and it'll tell me what the actual percentage is, which is kind of cool because you can actually get to 5%, 4%, what have you. Legals, again, $1,000. And now I can go to the renovation tab. And if I don't know what the renovation, okay, which is kind of cool, I'm going to calculate, go right to the rehab. So rule of 5,000. Property and exterior. Let's just assume that we're doing some exterior work, some siding, etc., stuff like that. I'll plug in my 5,000. Now, this is a quick tip, and there's a couple other nuances to this, but for the most part, this will help you guys understand it. So this applies to just about everything: exterior, interior, electrical. Let's say I'm going to put 5,000 for my HVAC system, which will include electrical and some other items. Kitchen, let's say I'm going to put $10,000, okay? And I'm going to literally go through here, and this is what's cool. It literally will tell me, okay, my total project is $20,000 rehab. I click next, and this is now my expected profit, $40,000, 300. So now I can go back and adjust these variables if I need to. The other cool thing is I can just save this thing as a PDF, and I can share it with a friend, and I can send it to people. So if you guys are on there, I really need you to use that to evaluate deals. It's extremely, extremely helpful for you guys to be able to go through, use it, save it, evaluate it, and you can pick just about any address there. Okay, so we'll get to the Q&A in just a second, and then we'll wrap up here. So where are you? We've already gone through this quickly, guys, as we wrap up. In your self-audit, how many people are level 1? Okay, I see accumulate wealth as the primary driver of strategy. Fantastic. I love it. That's great. So some of you guys are information seekers. Then we need to get the information and creating the roadmap. Some of you guys are ready to do deal number 1, which means we got to go to step 2 to 5, which is what we're covering today. And then those of you guys ready to do more deals, take it to step or hop 4 to 10. And then building a real big business, you can talk about one-on-one mentorship and other stuff. Okay, so here's the homework for this week. Number 1, I want you to practice the negotiation skills, guys, with 2 sellers. Okay, I want you to talk to 1 private lender. I want you to talk with 1 realtor. This is it. We're not going to make it too complicated. All right, I don't want you to get too crazy. I just want you to talk to these people. All right. Number 2, I want you to perform an audit on your strengths. You can use the predictive index if you like. That to me is my best one. Or you can use something else if you prefer. But I need you to perform an audit of where you're at. Most of you have never really thought about this probably. And like, wow, I'm really good at sales. I suck at ops. I'm really, really good at evaluating, but I suck at sales. And like starting to play to your strengths. And then number 3, the next piece is this, to evaluate deals using the CFT calculator. So 2 cash flow deals. I also want you to analyze 2 cash deals. So that'll be a total of 4 different deals that we're analyzing. Okay. We're still in our learning phase, guys. We're still in the step 1 and step 2 of just learning and figuring out what we want to do. But we need to start building these skills. We need to start practicing the analysis so that we can start tracking it. Okay. And then everybody from last week, if you haven't done that, we've got the SMART goal tracker that we started with, and then creating your personal roadmap. All right. Everybody will agree to do the homework. Let me see that hand real quick. Vinny, drop a poll here. What we'll do is we're going to do some homework help as well for those of you guys that need help. Who actually needs help on the homework? Vinny, drop a poll real quick. Help doing the homework here. Okay. For anybody who wants homework help and wants to do it together, we're going to do a group session. Daniel Blagrove is with me on Friday. Danny B, are you here? Can we throw Danny B in here? Where's he at? DB, is he hiding in the back? I think so. Okay, we're going to practice the actual conversations in person and go over the negotiations. We're going to focus on the combos that make money. So building crucial conversations that produce the result, okay, for anybody who wants to join us on the homework. We're going to evaluate PI index. In fact, everybody come into homework. I've got the PI tool. We'll just do it together. I'll give you the PI access. We'll get you PI. It's usually $50 a person to get in a predictive index. Anybody coming on Friday, it's absolutely free because we've got a master account for that. And then we're going to do some live deal analysis together, all right? And then I've got a couple tools that we're going to be building out and using on that day. So number 1, we have a negotiation script that we're building out. So everybody come into the thing. We'll just give you guys that. And we'll also give you guys the roadmap creator from last week because some of you guys haven't been on that. So anybody coming on Friday, we're going to have those tools. We're also going to have a live negotiation script. So we're going to get into a couple scripts on Friday here and just really practice this stuff. We're going to do the PI test, understand where everybody's at. And now we're going to do some analysis of property. So it'll be a pretty solid, intense day. All you need to do to come on Friday, just have a premium cash flow tribe account. So if you've been waiting to upgrade your membership and you're in a basic, now is the best time to come to premium possible, literally possible. So I think we're going to go ahead and just drop the link where people can go ahead and join us on the premium side. By the way, premium is $59 a month to get all the training, the support, and everything else that happens on Cashflow Tribe, which is just an incredible value. We also have a really cool intensive 2-day coming. So for those of you that have been debating getting into premium, and like really are hoping to come to the intensive, it's a $500 training. It's with myself and Matt and a whole bunch of people. Anybody who wants to commit through their journey for a year, the annual membership, we're actually throwing that thing in for free. So you'll have two options on this page when you click join. You can get the monthly $59, and then I believe the annual is $588 with the other $500 training included for you guys as an additional help. This is a one-time thing. This isn't recorded, none of that kind of stuff. We want to help move you guys down the line. So we were told, like, we'd like to figure out more help, more information, more whatever. So we just really want to break this down for you guys to come and join us. Okay. So let's open up some Q&As. What do we got? 25 units available, Vin? Yeah. Okay. We got about 25 spots. We're keeping that room small, guys, because we really want to get hands-on. Last week we had 7 people in the room, and we got really like specific on everybody's business there. Okay. So let's open up some Q&A for a few minutes. Those of you guys that have been waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect sale date or whatever, this is by far the best time ever to join Cashflow Tribe Premium. And if you're a premium member, this is by far the best time to upgrade to an annual membership and really get you guys going on this. And really excited to have you guys join me on Friday with Daniel Blagrove for the one-on-one session, so that we're going to be able to dive into this and share all these tools and resources. And then if you're coming and you weren't here last week, then we'll have the replays and stuff from last week as well. We'll give you those tools. And there you go. If you're already a premium member, the annual will get you guys enrolled into that. And you can drop me a comment at the bottom if you have other questions. Let's get into some Q&A. If you have questions on all this stuff, you can shoot a private comment to me or Daniel Blagrove's in the comments. Danny B, where you at? And Danny B can connect with you guys as well there. Okay, Vinny, I know you had some questions from some folks. I'm going to go back and do some Q&A. By the way, is this helpful? Was this a helpful session? Give me some feedback, guys, because I want to know, like, doing more of these. I've got a whole series of these HOP trainings to help you guys go up a level, go up a level, go up a level. Okay, so there's Danny B right there. Danny B's in the comments. Okay, I'm going to go back, Vin, because we had a couple questions here, and I'm going to touch on some of those questions to bring some clarity for everybody. So let me just scroll back. Vin, if you can find it, you can go ahead and send it out to me as well. Anybody else who has a question, I think, Vinny, they can just drop it in the comments, right, bud? Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, and I would love to have all you guys come on the homework. Like, why not just do it with us together? Let's walk through it. Let's get you some clarity. So that would be amazing, okay? Is there any way to access lesson 1? Yeah, everybody coming on Friday. Anybody who's going to be, like, who's in premium will have access to this training. So if you guys come roll with us on Friday, we're going to be dropping it there. Me and Danny B, this isn't like a pre-recorded thing going in the tribe. This is a live thing that he and I are doing, okay? Very, very cool. All right. Let's see here. Okay. So somebody's asking me, let me see here real quick. Yeah, so practicing the conversation, guys, is important because a lot of times we like, yeah, I know it. I know what I got to say. Or, yeah, I've heard this stuff before. Or, you know, I've heard somebody practice a script. The reason why we need to practice it is so that we can forget it. Like, a lot of us are so nervous talking to people because we're looking for words. And what I want you to do is to practice it with somebody. And if you don't come Friday, that's fine. Practice it with a buddy. But practicing will allow you to focus on intention and remove words. When we're seeking words, we're selling people, right? So when we're trying to find the language, we're trying to, like, convince them and push them. And I'm just talk with intentionality. Hey, guys. So if this is me, guys, I want to help you. Let's do something together. Let's go do a deal together. Come Friday, Danny and I are here. We're participating with everybody. We want to help you get to the next level. My greatest concern or fear as an educator is when people don't graduate, they don't move, or they get stuck. And for us, it's about identifying what has people stuck. You see, that same thing works with sellers. In those conversations, you might get stuck. So exploring that conversation, being prepared ahead of time, understanding where the seller's coming from, I think will truly help you guys get more traction, okay? Steve has a very good question. Steve is saying it is difficult to practice with people that don't believe this will work. Steve, brother, I hear you. That's why there's 2,000 people in Tribe, 2,000 plus people in Cashflow Tribe. So you don't have to convince your family to practice with you. You're better off to just plug in Tribe If you're a premium member, just connect with somebody in your town and tribe. Get on a Zoom call, man. Get on a Zoom call and practice with somebody else who also wants to practice. Practice with us. We've got weekend workshops that we do. Come bring your training here, because I know what you're saying, man. It's tough to go to people who don't understand the vision. They don't even agree with what you're doing, and then ask them for help to do more of it. So this is what community is all about, Steve. It's about all of us. There's people here who would love to practice with you. People here would love to connect and have this dialogue. So I struggle with this too. I struggle with this too, where like friends and family weren't necessarily supportive of this thing, and meaning real estate investing as a whole. So for a number of years, I just did it quietly behind the scenes and just kept working and working and working. And I eventually found a couple people that were in the same mindset. So I started plugging in with them. So Steve, you're in the right area. All we got to do is plug you in with some people, because you don't have to convince us it works. You don't have to convince us to believe in you. We already believe this works. That's why we're all here. So glad to have you. Really, really cool to have you here, pal. Okay. Awesome. Okay. TK, if I get a premium account, will I get hands on helping secure my first deal? Well, TK, this is what we're doing, is walking people through step by step. One of the other reasons too, guys, is there's a lot of private lenders here. There's a lot of wholesalers. There's a lot of deal makers in Tribe. Cashflow Tribe to me is by far the best way to get your first deal. There's other training things. The problem is I don't want to sell you education, guys. I can't just sell you information. I know what new people need: accountability. If you, TJ, if you're like, I'm coming on Friday, TK, and you're going to be there, I will be there. You're going to show up and you're going to take it seriously. And that's what new people actually need. Dude, all the information's on YouTube for free. All you guys know this. Everybody can go to YouTube and get the information and do it. The problem is they just won't. They're not going to do it. They're not going to practice on their own. All these limiting beliefs and fears come back. It's about environment. When you get in the environment where people are supporting, so Friday is going to be a Zoom call. We're all going to be cameras and audio, listen to each other, talk, connect, that kind of thing. So I think if you recognize that the information is really free, that's not what Tribe is about. Tribe is about creating relationships and about gaining accountability. And if you bring that attitude, it is by far the best place. By far the best place to do a deal. Okay? But I love it. I'm glad you guys are asking these questions. Gloria's on a lot of different stuff. So amazing. Okay. Danny, well, Vinny's on the call. Okay, so we're going to wrap up. I know there's some other sessions going on. I'm pretty sure like Women of Tribe is starting at 7:30. If you don't know what Women of Tribe is, it's one of our cash flow tribe. Absolutely. Really, really cool. My wife actually teaches Women of Tribe. So real quick, just to share with you guys, for those of you that are brand new, because we get people saying, what's the difference between my basic account and premium? Premium is where all this stuff happens. So there's literally training every day in premium. Well, 5 days a week training. You can jump into any class anytime you want, okay? There's 2,100 or 2,200 people in the members in the groups forum. So there's access to a lot of different community groups that we're building out, that you can post comments, that you can participate in the conversations, etc. Not to mention there's over 30 courses right now, 31 courses in Cashflow Tribe Premium that you can go and consume on demand. And what's cool about that is, and by the way, discovering your why is one of the homework pieces that we have for last week. You can literally watch these things on demand whenever you feel like it. You can kind of get your check mark that you've completed your course, and you can go through our entire curriculum in Cashflow Tribe, which is really, really cool. Now we got the calculators page. I only showed you one calculator today, but folks, there's a whole series of calculators in here that I really want you to start exploring with, because we're going to be touching on these as we grow. Making it real easy. We built these proprietary calculators just for you guys. For those of you guys that are new looking for deals, the deal page is now being built out. There's off-market deals populating in the page here all over Canada. So this will be a really, really good start to help you guys start finding some deal opportunities. And then there's even things in here like we've got all the forums. So for those of you that are like next week, we're talking about paperwork. And maybe you're trying to figure out like, how do I set it all up? How do I do the paperwork? Well, guys, everything is right here. So in premium, the agreement of purchase and sale, it's plug and play. So you can literally use the Cashflow Tribe Premium website as your workstation to do your work, to learn about Tribe, to comment, to get engagement, to go to the community page, and to run your business completely from here. So just a quick rundown of what it offers for everybody who's kind of new to the platform. Well, guys, it's been a really cool call. If you have any private questions or whatever, anything pops up, you can always hit me directly in the cash flow tribe. I'm dropping comments and posts and value and stuff there on a daily basis. If anything happens, you can always hit me a private message there. Those of you guys have any questions about, premium, etc., we'll get you guys sorted out with Danny B. Just drop me or Danny B a comment. And really excited to hang with you guys on Friday. I think it's going to be pretty cool. Somebody's talking about the tomahawk steak. Dude, that tomahawk steak was next level. Ed, if you're coming down to get a tomahawk, man, we're in Sarasota, Florida. It's beautiful out here. And I welcome anybody who wants to do a tomahawk. Okay, guys, we'll have a beautiful night. Be blessed. Vinny will roll us out of here. If you didn't get a chance to join us, click the link, and we'll see you guys on Friday. I'm excited to help you take your journey to the next level. Remember, we're living in faith, not fear, and you control your own destiny. So if you want to do deals, we're here to help you. Don't allow shutdowns, scarcity, or negative people to hold you back from achieving your dreams, getting into real estate, growing your wealth, and leaving a legacy. Appreciate you guys. Love everybody. Have a blessed night. We'll see you guys very soon.